Hello and welcome to World at Noon. I am Obi Chukwemeka Oti. Hope is finally being restored to the people of the Southern Senatorial District of Ondo State as restoration of electricity is now at the pre-commissioning testing level, which would commence next week. The Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources, Razak Obe, in company of members of on the board of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, were at the site to inspect the 132 kV/33 kV substation being constructed by NDDC at the Erije in Kutikukwa local government area of the state. Our correspondent, Olumide Adeluwore, reports that they were led by the projects, Mr. Charles Ogumola. The report is presented from our studio.
During the inspection, Mr. Ogumola revealed that the power project, which has reached 99% completion, will be commissioned before the end of this quarter. He said the multi-billion naira power project, when commissioned, will light up the various communities in the south.
So whatever has held this back and other projects across the 9 states of the Niger Delta, we are going to intervene and we are going to conclude those projects. So this is one of them. There again, it's of more interest to me because I am from Ondo State. And my commitment to my people is that I would touch each area of the state with a lot of emphasis on the areas that produce our. We need to touch those areas to make them understand that they have not been forgotten.
Mr. Ogumola said efforts would be accelerated to complete the last leg, which will energize the power station and take electricity to the affected communities.
The effect is when you put on your light or you put on your fan or you put on your fridge, it is working without you running generator. Having to wait over a decade to be brought into the 21st century is a long time. But we are bringing this area into the 21st century. You have some light in this facility outside.
Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources, Razak Obe, commended the NDDC and the contractor handling the power project for their sustained efforts at restoring electricity to the affected communities.
The project, as you can see, 145 towers from Omotosho, stringing completed. I think that is the bigger part of this challenge. And as we walk around the facility itself, we have seen the level of work, the quality of delivery, and the assurances that if we get a go-ahead, this plant could be energized. All we're waiting for now is to get those T's crossed and I's dotted.
He said government has the resources, including finance and technical expertise, to address other areas which may need urgent attention after completion of the project. Mr. Obe expressed satisfaction with the quality of work done as well as the level of completion of the facility, adding that Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu is in a hurry to see power restored to the affected communities.
State government has done this year is unprecedented. The quantum of budget allotted to address Ondo South power issue is a number never seen before on electricity in Ondo State. This effort is against the backdrop of Mr. Governor's determination to end over a decade of darkness in this strategic geographical location.
He called on relevant stakeholders, including the people and leaders in Erije and neighboring communities, to protect the facility against vandals so that the project can serve its purpose.
A group under the aegis of the natives has called on aspirants vying for the Senate presidency and speakership in the 10th National Assembly to allow the ruling party to decide the zoning for various offices. The call is coming in the wake of random lobbying of lawmakers to rally support ahead of their inauguration. The National Vice Chairman of the APC Northwest, Malam Salihu Lukman, had earlier called on northern senators contesting the post to step down for fairness and equity's sake. Party chieftains in the South and Southeast geopolitical zones are equally requesting for the zoning of the Senate presidency to their regions in order to have a sense of belonging at the federal level. Ghana has become the first country to approve a new malaria vaccine that has been described as a world changer by the scientists who developed it. The vaccine, called R21, appears to be hugely effective in stark contrast to previous ventures in the same field. Ghana's drug regulators have assessed the final trial data on the vaccine's safety and effectiveness, which is not yet public, and have decided to endorse it for public consumption, even as the World Health Organization is also considering approving the vaccine. Malaria kills about 620,000 people each year across the globe, with most of the victims young children. Tanzania has deported one of South Africa's most wanted fugitives, the convicted rapist and murderer Thabo Bester, who faked his death in prison and fled to the East African state. Bester was flown to South Africa in a specially chartered plane following his arrest last week. His girlfriend and celebrity Dr. Nadifa Magudumana, who was arrested with him, has also been deported. Her father has also been charged with helping Bester escape from prison after faking death by setting himself on fire in his prison cell in the South African city of Bloemfontein. President Joe Biden is continuing his official visit to the Republic of Ireland as he meets Irish President Michael D. Higgins at his official residence before holding further talks with Prime Minister Leo Varadkar. He is also the fourth U.S. president to address a joint sitting of the Ireland's parliament. Thousands of people gathered to welcome him on Wednesday as he visited distant relatives in Carlingford in the northeast of the country. He had earlier held talks with UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and held a meeting with the leaders of Northern Ireland's 5 main parties in Belfast. In the meantime, according to fresh revelations in the classified U.S. documents leaked online, which suggested Washington has been closely monitoring Antonio Guterres for quite some time, the U.S. government is of the opinion the global body is not tough on Moscow. The documents also contain candid observations from Guterres about the war in Ukraine and a number of African leaders. One of Russia's most active volcanoes has erupted on the far eastern Kamchatka Peninsula, shooting a vast cloud of ash far into the sky that smothered villages and triggered an aviation warning. The Silversk volcano erupted just after midnight and reached a crescendo about 6 hours later, spewing out an ash cloud over an area of 41,700 square miles. Akintunde Akinshimola has the detail.
Large clouds of dark ash have risen to the sky of Russia's far eastern Kamchatka Peninsula after one of the country's most active volcanoes erupted. It is 9 in the morning, said one woman. Under a darkened sky, the ash is falling. The Chivelot volcano erupted just after midnight and reached its peak around 6 hours later. The ash cloud from the volcano covered almost 42,000 square miles, according to the Kamchatka branch of Russia's Geophysical Survey. It created the deepest ash the area has seen in 60 years. The eruption could have a larger impact on the climate than the massive eruption of a volcano in Iceland 13 years ago, said a meteorologist, Alexis Kokoren.
This effect will cause some small cooling, maybe 0.1 Celsius degrees, maybe even less, maybe a bit more, nobody knows yet. In short period, maybe 1 year, maybe smaller, maybe a bit larger. Anyway, it's small effect, but effect in cooling.
Around 24 hours after the initial eruption, a 5.8 magnitude earthquake struck after Kamchatka's coast. Around 24 hours after the initial eruption, a 5.8 magnitude earthquake struck after Kamchatka coast. Geological Survey said. A Russian scientist said the quake was an aftershock from another earthquake that happened on the 3rd of April. About 300,000 people live on the vast peninsula which extends into the Pacific Ocean and northeast of Japan. There were no immediate reports of casualties, but experts warned that further major ash cloud could appear. The Kamchatka Volcanic Eruptions Response Team also issued a red notice for aviation and cautioned that ongoing volcanic activity could affect international and low-flying aircrafts. Chibelot's last major eruption was in 2007. It is estimated that 60 substantial eruptions happened in the past 10,000 years. Akintunde Akinshimola for Osrc News.
Elsewhere, a powerful storm that is charging towards Western Australia has intensified to a Category 5 system. Severe tropical cyclone Ilsa is expected to hit Port Hedland in the state's north at any moment. A red alert has been issued across the region, with thousands of people ordered to take immediate shelter. While northern Australia is no stranger to cyclones, the gathering storm is predicted to be strongest to hit the region in almost 10 years. The storm is predicted to bring extreme wind gusts of up to 315 km per hour in parts of the Kimberley and Pilbara regions. And with that story, we'll conclude World at Noon. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon.